Hello, folks, and welcome to Norwood High School. I'm Joe Pinola. Along with Joey O'Connor as usual, we have a special guest with us today. Danielle DeMattia is up here in the booth helping us out and already giving us lots of insight. Danielle, we're excited to have you today.
Thanks, I'm super excited.
And you know a lot about this team, also a lot about Hopkinton, who is quite the opponent that Norwood is taking on today. Hopkinton is 12-0-1. Their only tie came a week ago against Medfield. Norwood has had a rough season so far as they're still looking for their first win, but have scored a goal in each of their last two contests, so maybe something to build off of.
Yes, definitely. They're definitely improving each game, so hopefully we'll see at least a good half or two.
Well, there we go. We got to put two good halves together, right? For Norwood, it's a bit of a rotating lineup. Danielle was telling us kind of before we started that Coach Brinko likes to kind of mix things up based on practices, who's looking good, play a little bit of the hot hand. So hopefully we'll get a nice opportunity to see a lot of different players today. Norwood does have a couple captains on the list, Catherine Cronin, Elizabeth Gonzalez, and Mary Flaherty. And Hopkinton's three captains, Joey, are really going on to some good things. They're all playing in college, as we learned a little while ago.
Yeah, we got the scouting report earlier. We have a captain, Madison Recupero, committed to Princeton, as well as Nina Tsugandos committed to BU. So a couple studs out there for Hopkinton. As you mentioned, Joe, having a great season. Norwood not having their best season, right? But you never know what can happen out here. Beautiful fall day for some soccer. Let's drop the ball. Let's get it going.
Yeah. And in the past, I can speak for like my sophomore and junior year. We've definitely held our own against Hopkinton, at least for a little bit. I remember my sophomore year we were tied at the half, 2-2. And junior year, I think it was like 1 goal difference at the half. So I think the girls know the level they have to compete against, and they definitely change their mentality every time they play Hopkinton. They didn't have a great game versus Hopkinton earlier in the season, but it was their first one, got dust the cobwebs off. So hopefully this one will be good. And I did actually just get word of the starting lineup.
All right, so Danielle will give you the starting lineup today, who Norwood is having out there.
Alrighty, so we got Ava Morad, number 5, senior on defense. Catherine Cronin, number 6, captain. Bella Corres, 12, junior. Megan Malloy, sophomore, number 14. Mackenzie Flynn, number 17. A really strong player on this team. One definitely to look at. Elizabeth Gonzalez, another captain, senior, 18. Cece Becker, number 19, junior. Becca Woods, who he coaches in basketball, really strong contender as well. Number 27, Grace Mercedes. Number 35, also a junior. And our only freshman on the team, Gia Riccardi, number 37. And lastly, in the back of the net, we got Reagan Curran, 49. So, pretty strong starting lineup. I'm excited. Sounds
like a really good group and a lot of multi-sport athletes. As you're talking through this, Danielle, I'm hearing, basketball players, track runners, softball players, things like that. So it's interesting to see a soccer team that has kind of a wide array of athletic abilities, kind of as Norwood's got. I thought it was interesting. NCM put out a little special on you guys. We saw you in that, doing a little shout out and talking about like favorite food spots and things like that. And I expected that everyone was going to say, "Oh, soccer is my favorite sport," but there was quite a range. We heard some basketball, some volleyball. Yes. Now, were you one of the soccer is my favorite sports folks?
I believe I was. Yes, I'm a big sports girl. I love all sports, but I think just because I know soccer the best, that's also why I'm here today.
There you go.
Know the best.
And I know the team misses you out there, but here we go. We are underway. 2 40-minute halves. Norwood taking on the Hillers of Hopkinton. And as Danielle said, I guess you never know. The Hillers had quite a ride, from experience, the trip out to Hopkinton and obviously the trip back. I was talking to some of the guys on the boys soccer team who were heading out there today saying, we might not get home till 9:30 tonight. It's a full day, so maybe Hopkinton's coming in with less than a full tank.
Yeah, it's definitely a long day whenever you take the hike to Hopkinton. And sometimes a long bus ride, unfortunately. But we're hoping to send them home on that long bus ride today.
Yeah, it's one of those towns. There's just no easy way to get there, especially at this time of day.
No.
You almost always have to say that for Boston or Boston area, right? Depending on traffic. We'll see how we get there. So Hopkinton now with their first foray here into the offensive end as we head on into the sun to get a glimpse of what's going on down here. There's a nifty little pass in front that they look to turn around. This is a Hopkinton team, as Joey mentioned, that was 18-1-1 last year, and their only loss came in the D1 semifinal to Bishop Fian. So this team is going to be looking to get right back there. Good movement again as Hopkinton continues to work the passing lane. They move on inside. Recupero with a nice pass was looking down below and couldn't quite connect. That is Maddie Recupero, number 10. She is a Princeton commit, as Joey was telling us about earlier, so certainly one to watch. 10, 7, and 11 are the three captains for Hopkinton today. That's Recupero, Gronzos, and Suganatos.
Apologize if we mispronounce it.
We always take that with a grain of salt. And Joey, you were talking about the weather a little bit earlier today. Typical New England fall day, but maybe a little bit of wind is gonna throw some changes into this matchup here today.
Yeah, I know that was a big factor. If anybody watched Sunday night or Monday Night Football yesterday, a lot of missed kicks on both sides, even short field goals, like 30-yard field goals, were sailing wide. Feels like we kind of have some of that same weather here today. It is a beautiful fall day, kind of that chilly air a little bit as well. But yeah, a little bit of a wind, a little bit of a breeze. Definitely could have an effect on some shots on net.
Yeah, maybe that weather has made its way up from New York today. That game was in New York, I think, right? I guess it would be either way.
Yeah, it was Bills Jets. It was at MetLife, I believe.
There we go. So we're about 2.5 minutes in. Last time these two teams played, as Danielle mentioned, was very early in the season. It was a 7-0 Hopkinton win. But Danielle, you said the teams are kind of finding their footing a little bit. So maybe that's something that Norwood has under their belt, especially scoring goals the last couple contests now.
The coach, Coach Brinko, always says first goal breaks the ice. I think for this team that's definitely true. We didn't get a goal until we played Walpole last week, 2 weeks ago, and we've gotten 2 or 3 since then. So I definitely think getting those goals gives these girls a lot of confidence. So hopefully we'll see some of that today.
Yeah, just got to see one go in, right? See one go down.
Yep, the energy definitely gets higher every time there's a ball in the back of the net for Norwood.
There's a pretty good goal kick that comes out to about the middle of the field. Hopkinton has done a nice job kind of turning and passing quickly. That's Recupero, number 10. As she gets it back to her teammate Tuganatos, number 11. And there's a nice first touch there for Reagan Curran in net. Got to feel good to get kind of almost nothing's easy, but obviously an easy save to get your hands on quickly because she's going to certainly be peppered a lot today.
Yeah, and Reagan keeping the tradition going forward, Joe. Last year, I believe when you and I were on the mic, we had Trisha Wachowski in net, a basketball forward. This year we have Reagan Curran in net, also a basketball forward. In just a month, she'll be out there on the court, so cool to see that tradition continuing.
Lots of basketball girls.
Yeah, lots of hoopers out there today. Love to see it.
It's always been like that, too.
Now, it's strange for Norwood having a regular goalkeeper that's not Trisha Wachowski because she played, obviously, 4 years since her freshman year. Here's a little bit of a chance for Hopkinton. Nice stop there. I think that was Becca Wood, number 27, getting in the way of that one.
Yeah, I would keep your eyes on number 27, Becca Wood. Also a hooper, as we mentioned earlier. I haven't really seen her play soccer yet, but if I were to guess, she plays it just like basketball. She's going to be flying up and down the field, locking down the other team's best player. She's a menace out there.
She's awesome. Lauren Reen, last year's senior, would always play sweeper in the back there, and she was very vocal, very loud. And Catherine Cronin played that role for a little bit, and now it's Becca. They've switched.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So
right on cue, she runs out, and good communication there with Curran in the back of the net.
Yeah, I could definitely see Becca filling that role. Last year, Joe and I were very impressed by Lauren Reen, was just flying up and down the field nonstop.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Catherine did that role. Catherine Cronin did that role for a little bit, and I think there was one game where Catherine got hurt or something. Becca took that over, and I think that's kind of stuck. And now Catherine's up on the midfield, and it's pretty awesome that Becca, as a sophomore, is playing that role, especially big shoes to fill from Lauren Reen, who was one of the best players on the field last year and her time here at Norwood High School.
Yeah, I've always compared Becca, at least on the basketball court, to the Tasmanian devil. She just flies around, creates chaos, creates anarchy.
There's some girls on this team that I've never seen out of breath, and Becca's one of them.
Yep.
Just running for days.
That's one thing that Hopkinton was talking about. Their community media channel, HCAM, also does a great job covering a lot of these games. And they put out a team preview, and one of the first things you heard their coach talking about was their conditioning coming into the year. So obviously a team that's had a lot of success and a coach who's seen a lot of success, that's something that he values. But here's a chance for Hopkinton coming down the other end. Nicole Tedstone is number 17. She's able to get some range behind some of her shots, a strong leg that Norwood's got to watch out for. And there's a quick turn by Tuganatos. Oh, she finds a pass in the middle of the field there. And it's Maddie Recupero who puts in the first goal for Hopkinton just about 7 or 8 minutes or so into this first contest.
Definitely a player to look out for, those two. I bet they're a duo together. That Princeton BU commits. Definitely one to keep their eye out for, but we always try and score first. That sets the tone, but hopefully we'll come back with one.
Well, I guess if the first goal breaks the ice, then Hopkinton has broken the ice there. Yeah. It's Recupero who has already taken a couple of shots as she sneaks one past Curran. So Norwood is in a 1-0 hole against a very good team, though. Even if they're not able to come out on top today, considering how strong Hopkinton is, even a close loss could put them a lot higher in terms of the power rankings.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, something to keep your eyes on. We've mentioned it a few times the past few years, Joe, but if you're not familiar, the MIAA now goes by power rankings, and a big part of that is the strength of your schedule. Right. So regardless today, Norwood's going to have a strong game on their schedule. And, yeah, if they ball out a little bit, even if they lose, if they keep it close, that's going to factor in big time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that something, Danielle, the coach talks about? Does she say, hey, even if we lose close, or is maybe talking about losses something that's taboo down there?
I don't necessarily think she looks at any of the numbers, because this team, we may lose by several goals every game, but this team definitely improves every game, every half. So I don't necessarily think she looks at those numbers. Like, we'll lose a game like 5-0, and she'll tell us she's proud of us in the bus. So, it just depends on the energy, the mentality that these girls have. But yeah, I don't think she really looks at the rankings. We never talk about rankings, really. And obviously the score isn't pretty sometimes, and I think we all acknowledge that. But I think what matters most to everyone on this team is the mentality and the energy that they bring onto the field.
There you go. And it seems like a pretty young team. You got a big range of, obviously some senior leadership that we mentioned, but juniors, sophomores, and even a freshman starting today. Obviously, yes. We talked about Gia Riccardi's out there.
Yeah. So Gia was actually put on JV, and then versus our Westwood game at Westwood. I don't know. I think that was
a nice little cleanup there by Becca.
Gia got pulled up for our Westwood game, and she's stuck ever since, because she had a lot of success on JV with shots on net. So coach recognized that and brought her up, and she's been with us ever since, and she's been doing a great job. Yeah, our only freshman. We got a lot of freshmen on JV, though. Lots of freshmen, lots of good potential.
So the future is bright, you're telling us,
yes.
Huh? Well, it's interesting that you say that she kind of came up, had a really strong game, but not only has she stuck around on the roster, she's stuck around seemingly in a starting spot.
Yeah.
So that really goes to show you just how much of an impact she's had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a little bit of a challenge. Nice work there from Gia. She must have heard us just talking about her. And here's a little bit of a foot race. Becca Wood is working against two Hopkinton players. Hopkinton comes away with it, at least for the moment. Becca recollects, and that one takes a bad bounce, and luckily for Norwood, just goes wide. It was Marin O'Connor, a junior for Hopkinton. No relation to Joey, we believe, but had a pretty good chance down there in front of the goal.
Not that I know of.
We got, I think that's Riley Barnett coming in for Elizabeth. And Catherine's staying on.
All right, so Riley Barnett, who we know got some action last year. She's a junior now and is getting a chance here. As Danielle mentioned, Elizabeth Gonzalez, a senior captain, going off. Elizabeth, someone else who's been a big part of this program for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Norwood still kind of struggling to get it out here, but their defense has held up thus far. We are about 10 minutes into the game. They gave us the one goal. They gave up the one goal. That was courtesy of Maddie Recupero. But right now it still remains 1-0 Hopkinton. Coming back out to the middle of the field for a moment. Nice pass there. Ooh, Tuganatos was trying to connect with Nicole Tedstone there, a senior. But I tell you, Reagan Curran has done a nice job, especially even as an underclassman here, coming out and being aggressive against a very strong team.
Awesome. Yeah, she's super brave in that. She'll get kicks to the stomach and everything. I'll see her the next day. She does NHS update with me. I'll see her the next day. She's got bruises on her arm, and I'm like, I love it.
That's exactly how she plays basketball as well. So.
Awesome. She also, similar to Gia, was on JV, and I think I don't know if she does anymore because she starts for varsity, but she used to do a half for JV, a half for varsity, and I think now she's with us.
Yeah, she's been, like you guys said, she's been very decisive on some of these through balls about coming out, scooping it out, scooping it up, being aggressive. That's what you like to see from your goaltender.
Yes.
Takes a certain breed to play goalie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've said that about the goalies in field hockey and lacrosse before, but soccer is no different. You got a much bigger area to defend, too.
Yeah.
There's a neat little cross pass as Norwood is looking to try to connect with Cece Becker there, number 19, who's out in the field.
Yeah, I believe that was number 14, Meg Malloy, with the nice little touch and right idea on the cross.
Speaking of a good little touch, it looks like Hopkinton is offsides.
Well, I guess that's good. The ref called that because sometimes we get some not so great refs, and we definitely gave up some goals that were offsides. So
I'm sure you're a little biased on that one, right?
Yeah, we'll be at film the next day, and coach will be like, "Oh, that was so offsides." And sometimes it is. Sometimes we're just a little salty. But
unfortunately, there's no VAR here, right?
No, we definitely
That's true.
We don't have the funding for that right now.
I don't know if these refs have it, but recently we've seen some headsets on these refs, and
all right,
they're getting bougie. But normally those are the better ones. But it looks like, I don't know.
Oh, nifty little bicycle kick attempt there from Riccardi.
Now it's getting a little easier to see, too. Sun's going behind the clouds.
Yeah, now we can get you some of these numbers. There's a nice little lead pass. Headstone coming in here with Hopkinton as she tries to get around a couple defenders. Decides to put it into the middle of the field, and it just caught a piece of one of the Norwood players, but Hopkinton follows it up, and I think just hit it off the side of the goal, just wide.
Yeah, pretty good opportunity there for Hopkinton. Good cross. Norwood couldn't quite get it out of the box. And it looks like Hopkinton just misses wide, so the game will stay 1-0.
And Joey, I couldn't quite tell who that was down there in the middle for Norwood, but did a really nice job of kind of getting in the way of that last pass.
Might have been Riley Barnett.
Yeah, that seems about right. So, yeah, number 13 is lining
Grace.
up.
Hey, Grace. Okay. Grace Mercedes clearing that as much as she can. We got Mackenzie.
All right, Mackenzie's been a part of this team, I believe, starting since she was a freshman. Is that right?
A lot of these juniors varsity as a freshman, which was unheard of when I was a freshman. No one made varsity. So when I was a sophomore and all these now juniors, I was like shocked. There was all these freshmen on varsity, but they definitely deserve it. This is a strong class.
But you were getting regular time as a sophomore, if I remember that right.
Yes,
So we say freshmen don't play a ton, but you must have done something right to jump in as a sophomore and almost be starting right away.
There was like 12 or 14 seniors my freshman year, so I think that had a great effect on it. She didn't make any cuts. I think the first time she made cuts was my junior year, and I think that's probably why we didn't make no freshman made varsity. But yeah, there was so many seniors my freshman year.
Now, no one likes making cuts, but I guess if you're making cuts, it means a lot of people are coming out for the program, and I guess that bodes success. Here's Recupero. She is dangerous, as we saw her already score one today. Norwood does a nice job of aggressively closing in. Number 9, O'Connor, is there as well, as she tries to connect there on the far side, but the Norwood defense holding strong still about 14 minutes through this game.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent, Joe, of the boys soccer game we called a few weeks ago where opponent got out to a 2-0 lead pretty early. I think it was Medfield maybe. And the boys team just managed to hold on to that deficit. They kept it to 2, and then they cut it to 2-1 at halftime. Made it a pretty close game. It's kind of a similar vibe right now. Norwood lets up that early goal, but the defense has kind of stepped up since then. Still the 1-0 game.
Yeah, I think that's to follow up on that. I think defense is very strong. We have a lot of trouble transitioning into the second, even third part of the field, but I definitely think we have a good, strong defense when they all work together and are all on the same mindset, which is most of the time.
Yeah, they've been flying around back there. You mentioned Becca Wood. Also, number 12, Bella Corus, I would say, has kind of been flying around, making some great plays. That's also how she plays basketball.
One of her Bella's first games back, she had a little head injury a few weeks ago. So I don't know if she played any games last week, but first time I've seen her play in a little bit.
Yeah, she's another one that I would compare probably to a Tasmanian Devil out there.
Oh, nice work by Recupero. She drives in and gets the goal. Wow, it was really defended well initially by Grace Mercedes down here on the near side, but Recupero just stuck with it, and she's able to pocket her second goal of the game.
Yeah, that was quite the move. She had a
Great
little
footwork.
spin zone, little spin cycle there, and then dropped it near side on Curran, so that will extend the lead to 2-0.
Joey, just as you were saying, Norwood is doing a good job of holding his lead.
There
it
jinx.
is.
I know better than that, too. That's on me.
Well, either way, there's a lot of pressure on this Hopkinton team today. Now, obviously, you come in, you look at the records, you look at the strong players that Hopkinton's has and their strong conditioning and whatnot. But I guess if you're a team coming in as a big favorite like that, you start to give up chances in your own offensive end, even if you're up 2-0 at the moment, and maybe things could get a little bit nerve-wracking for this team. So not the easiest position that Coach Skiba and his group are in, where you're almost expected to really do well, where Norwood could start sowing some seeds of doubt if they're able to get at least one through.
And that looked like Riccardi again, flying
Yeah,
around up
she's
top. Almost presented a problem for the Hopkinton goaltender there.
Oh, look at that hustle from, I think that's Cece Becker right here near us, who was moving in quickly and almost stole the ball away from number 18, Ashley McCann.
And I believe Becker's bouncing back from a pretty serious injury too, right?
Who?
Cece, she's,
Maybe.
I think, a week or two ago.
Oh, she had a little, tooth injury.
Yeah, I think she went up for a header and she ended up smashing her face off the turf. She's back out there.
I like that, Joey, you said she's bouncing back from a serious injury. And Danielle goes, yeah, she had a little tooth thing.
I think it was a little worse than that. I was told her braces were kind of.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, that adds the complicating factor.
Some metal was bent out of shape, but she was looking like a champ, and she was back pretty quickly. I forgot about that. Normally, some injuries we see in soccer is all your legs or your feet or your hand, which is most of the injuries we got on the bench right now. So I forgot about that. But yeah, she wasn't out for too long, but did have a little been out of shape in her mouth for a little bit.
Yeah, so the injury bug has seemingly hit Norwood a little bit this year.
Definitely. And there's some girls out there that I know are playing through it. And some girls are telling Coach, hey, I'm fine.
Now, that's almost a point of pride, I guess. You want to be out there. You want to be out there with your team through and through.
I know Mary Flaherty has had some little struggle with some knee problems this season. And she normally plays about 20 minutes a game. But I know she's one of the girls that tries to be tough and play through it.
That almost took a dangerous bounce off that turf. But that's, I guess, Reagan Curran knowing this turf well, and she judged the bounce well.
She's very brave for going out there.
I thought that was going to take one bounce over the head. Now, the other thing we saw is that Norwood's last game was at Father Max.
Yeah, I don't know why that was.
Kind of maybe a little bit of another wrench that's been thrown in here. You're back on the turf after playing at the grass at Father Max. Obviously, that didn't affect Reagan on that play, but I know you've played a number of games on Father Max as well. What's the difference like? Obviously, you're not the biggest fan of that field.
No, it's a crazy difference, especially, I always say, after it rains, it's a swamp at Father Max. They do the best they can to take care of it, but especially for a goalie, it's really just dirt by the goal. There's no grass. It's definitely uneven. The grass can get pretty long, but I think during season they like to keep the maintenance on it.
Good touch there by Chorus, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best. We're very grateful to have this turf field because my sophomore year and freshman year, pretty much all our games were at Father Max, and it definitely felt like a treat anytime we would play at the turf. And JV actually played on the turf a few weeks ago versus Walpole, and I was talking to Ashley, a girl on
here's
JV.
Ted Stone as she moves in. Nice job by Norwood to steer it out of her way. But Hopkinton still threatening. This kick, will it go through the uprights? It's a field goal for Hopkinton, but they won't get 3.
No, I was saying how one of the girls on JV, after they played on the turf, they were saying how nice it was. So it definitely is a night and day difference. But it's all right.
Yeah, I would imagine you get a little bit more of a true roll out here, especially as a goaltender.
Oh, yeah.
If you're at Father Max, that ball can just kind of bounce.
Yeah. Or it
Anywhere.
just stops.
Yeah.
There's that swampy nature of it, right?
Oh, yeah. If it rains, it's a swamp in there.
I guess you have lowlands and not a whole lot the DPW is going to be able to do on that one.
No, yeah.
So shout out to them for maintaining it during the season because it still gets used for some pretty big games. That game against, who was it, Millis, I believe, last game, 4-1.
And Gia Riccardi scored that one goal. And I heard I wasn't there, but I heard it was a banger.
Wow, let's go.
So Gia, a freshman, making an impact. We can only imagine what she's got going forward.
Yes, and we got a lot of good freshmen on JV that she hasn't brought up, but definitely some good players in this 2028 class.
So do you have insight on how the JV season's been going?
Actually, pretty good. They won a couple games. I was at the football game last week talking to some girls on JV. I think they won 4-1, which is amazing.
All right.
And I think they tied against Walpole a few weeks ago. I think they won another game. I'm forgetting the name of the other team. But they've definitely got some good players, good games on their some history.
Looks like Norwood has gone with a couple substitutions. We see number 42, Grace Connell, is out there. Number 1, Sydney Cochran threw it in a moment ago. So Danielle was telling us how Coach Brinkle likes to mix things up, and true to her word, that's exactly what's happening right now.
And we got Ty up top.
I think we have Ava
that's
Papetti.
Tanara Batista, number 11.
Ava Papetti, I was about to say.
Yeah, you were saying that Ava has been playing really well lately, so it's not a surprise to see her getting some big minutes right now.
She got her 1 goal against Dover Sherborne. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and they're always a super strong team. We actually scored first.
No call on that. Thought we might have gotten one for a moment. Good chase there from Becca Wood, number 27. And Norwood again trying to kind of work it down on that far side, but
definitely very physical, which is good.
So is that something that coach has been preaching to the team? Be more physical out there, be more assertive, I guess, if you will?
I think we definitely have a small team in height-wise, and I think they let them get thrown around too much. I don't know if it's a weight room issue, height issue, but yeah, we get tossed around too much. I think the coach definitely, obviously you don't want to foul in your end, but I think it's harmless if you do it all the way to the other side of the field, really. I don't know. I don't want to say harmless, but it's definitely trying to be more physical. They actually just went to Burn boot camp the other day.
Okay.
Wow. I think they got some muscle from that.
Some
maybe
cross-training there, yeah.
So what does that training program look like? I know obviously the team works a lot in like the off-season, things like that. Obviously it's not just running out on the roads, I'm guessing. It's a little bit more than that.
I don't really think we do street runs that often. I don't think we're really allowed to, but definitely preseason's lots of conditioning. We do the mile, of course, which is kind of just there to hold everyone accountable to do their conditioning.
Yeah, you don't seem super thrilled about the mile.
Most girls aren't, but I think it's good. If we didn't have it, I'm sure there wouldn't be as many girls like going out and doing their runs over the summer.
Here's Norwood with a chance in their offensive end as Batista was on that one, wearing number 11. I think I saw Mary Flaherty, who you were mentioning, was managing an injury. She's in there getting some minutes. So nice to see Mary getting right back in the swing with those green cleats right near us. But Norwood there with an offensive chance, so you never know. Good things may be happening. So now Hopkinton working it on the far side. Joey, we're getting some shadows in here on the field, which I know maybe affects us in terms of looking through in the sun, but obviously that could change things once the field shifts as well.
It normally starts super sunny and then it gets super shady.
Yeah, we could definitely use a few of these clouds right now. My arms get all tired trying to block out the sun.
I was going to say, you were smart with the sunglasses, but I got you on the hat piece today.
Yeah, that's true. We did learn our lesson. Last year, Joe and I were up here with no shades, nothing, just trying to power through.
Well, we also got the wind coming through, so now we know you have experience as the camera operator on top here, especially when the wind blows. So we're thankful that Sam Gurney is getting to be inside with us today.
I know.
So he's got it made and is doing a great job with the camera work. Everything is kind of from this single booth. Kiki Thaxter running around, producing us today.
Pretty good.
And you and Kiki, I know, have been working on some segments as well on our NCM Airways. I think I saw you doing little sweet treats out there.
Yes. I got to do another one with her. We did Fried Dough Express down in the center of town.
Oh, good chance as Batista was closing in, and Grace Connell almost got in there as well. Norwood starting to make things happen here on the offensive end.
Yep, and they're going to keep it down there. It'll be a Norwood throw-in on the far side of the field. But again, Norwood pressuring the goaltender on one of those pass backs. Ty Batista up front, almost kind of forces the goaltender to slip up, make a mistake there, and Norwood's going to apply the pressure here with about 15 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, we're kind of getting to that midpoint in the first half, maybe some tired legs. Hopkinton is also going to the bench. Allison Green, Jr., has checked in, as has number 21, Riley Colleran, who's one of 4 freshmen on the Hopkinton roster. So we were saying before how rare it was to have freshmen on varsity. Hopkinton, who's a very strong program, is starting to do the same thing. So Becca Wood now does a nice job turning the corner, still stays with it. Good work from her as she had 2 Hillers right around her.
Awesome.
So we have been calling her name a bunch. The defensive line for Norwood has been holding up. We saw Barnett with that really good play a little while ago to kind of thwart a Hopkinton chance. Becca Wood has been really strong. Norwood, I'm sure, has cut a couple other defenders who've been really good as well.
Yes, definitely, and pretty young as well.
Yeah, Grace Mercedes has been down there. She did a nice job.
This is Grace's first year on varsity. I'm not sure if she got called up at all last year, but this is her first year on the roster, and she's doing a great job.
And I think we're going to see an offsides there against Hopkinton. So we're about 25 minutes into this contest, and Hopkinton, who is, I guess, as close to a dominant opponent as you're going to get in the TVL. They've won as big as 8-0 in the middle of the season. 7-0, 8-1, I believe, routinely putting up those scores. But 2-0 right now as Norwood has faced 2 goals from Maddie Recupero, number 10. But that's been it, at least at the moment. Grace Connell got a piece of that one. Mary Flaherty is in there as well. Nifty move by number 18, Ashley McCann, as she drops it off. And a hard shot and a big save from Reagan Curran. Joey O'Connor pumps his fist there as he sees his basketball player doing a nice job in net for Norwood.
Yeah, trying to stay neutral as a commentator up here, but I am a little biased. I do have some favorites out there. Great save there from Reagan Curran. That was a great pass from Hopkinton, too. They've had some great through balls today.
Oh, here we go.
So now potentially a chance here, turning the corner, or at least attempting to, is Mary Flaherty, trying to tell the ref that it should be going Norwood's way, but he's not listening on that one. Instead, it'll come to McCann for the throw-in. So McCann surveys the field. She had a great pass a moment ago. Number 21, who took that shot, is Riley Colleran. Watch out for her TVL. She's a freshman and certainly appears to have quite a strong leg. The future and the present seem to be very bright for Hopkinton. Another strong throw-in the middle of the field. Riley Barnett trying to work that away from one of the Hopkinton players. Norwood comes over with help from Grace Connell. And now out for Flaherty.
We just got to clear it. In times like this, we just got to get rid of it, whether it's wide out.
Oh, and I think they're going to get bailed out by an offsides call there.
All right, that'll do it.
That'll
One
help.
way to do it.
However it works.
help.
That combination of number 18 McCann and number 21 Colleran for Hopkinton has been quite dangerous here in the last couple of minutes, but Norwood has still managed to keep them off the board, at least for the moment. So it looks like, is this Riley Barnett who's going to do the goal kick here? Now, is that something that we're going to see often from Norwood, where some of the defenders are going to come out to try their hand at doing it?
I think, well, for goal kicks, I think Reagan does most of them. For, like, fouls and offsides, I think I see Mackenzie Flynn and, like, Elizabeth Gonzalez take a lot of those free kicks.
Okay.
I don't often see Riley doing them, but
she seems to be tasked with a lot of responsibility today. Riley
yeah.
didn't start, but came off the bench and has been a central point in that defense. And she was, I believe, if not starting, getting some minutes last year as a defender too.
Definitely.
So Hopkinton with a corner kick, and if my math is right, I think this is their first corner kick of the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
As Norwood, we see calling in all their reinforcements, moving in from all sides of the field. This is a good one. Oh, it goes off the hands of Curran. Hopkinton is still managing to control it. Number 16 is Anaga Kulkarni as she tries to move in and take another corner, or take the angle, excuse me, on that one. But Norwood again diverts the chance, but Hopkinton still threatening.
Is it another corner? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
looks
it will
like
be
it.
a corner on our
throw-in
side.
maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, corner.
Well, corner on this side will be taken by number 21, Colleran. So we know she's got a strong leg. Hopkinton running in to help with Tuganatos. as Nina tries to move in. Another nice pass from her, and a beautiful kick there that luckily for Norwood goes off the crossbar. Oh, it was McCann who fired a hard shot, and Curran was in good position and got a little bit of help from the middle there. Yep. And Norwood wisely will get this one out of bounds, thwarting yet another chance, but it's still Hopkinton ball.
Yeah, what a shot attempt there from Hopkinton. Yeah. Something we noted during their warm-ups, too. They went bar down or they hit crossbar probably at least 10 times while they were warming up. So that was kind of bound to happen. Yeah. Pretty good. It looked like Reagan Kern got a little tip on it. Yeah. She got a fingertip on it, and then it hit crossbar and kicked back out. So still a 2-0 game after a dangerous shot attempt there from Hopkinton.
And good work from Norwood. I missed who it was, but one of their defenders in the middle of the field immediately kicked it out to the sidelines and got it out of bounds. And, that's one of those good plays that you're not trying to do too much and you get rid of that chance. Here's another dangerous chance inside as Barnett tries to work along with a couple of other Norwood defenders. Hopkinton has to double back again. The Norwood defense has been suffocating to them. Nice pass into the middle. Hopkinton trying to turn it around. Curran comes out, slides, gets back into position, and Norwood once again gets it out, this time off the foot of Mary Flaherty.
Yeah, when that stuff happens, we always just got to try and clear it. It's never good. Everyone's unorganized when that kind of happens. We're all over the place because you never know what's going to happen. So.
Gotta imagine Norwood's getting a little bit tired out here, but once again, the reprieve of an offside comes at a good moment. Hopkinton's got a couple other new players in there. Natalie Prisco, number 20, is a freshman, as is number 24, Alex Clark. So a lot of freshmen getting their opportunities. Hopkinton's got 4 on the roster, and we've at least seen Prisco and Colleran so far. We'll see if Catherine Chow eventually comes on in, and Taylor Scaff is a goalie, the third goalie that Hopkinton has in their roster. Here's Colleran moving inside, trying to get around Becca Wood, who stays with her. Oh, Curran got a piece, and the follow-up is a goal for Hopkinton. Nice job from the Hillers as we'll try to get the number. I think it may have been number 4.
Looks like it.
As we see her in that group. Allison Green is number 4, so the first goal from Hopkinton that does not belong to one of their senior captains, and it's 3-0 a half hour into this contest.
Yeah, good hustle there from Becca Wood, right? She cut down the angle. Good cross there from Hopkinton. I think, as you mentioned, Joe, I think Curran even got a hand on it, but it managed to squeak by, and Hopkinton finishes it right in front of the Norwood net. So 3-0 here with about 9 minutes left.
Subs coming in.
So like 3 subs, it looks like.
Sydney, Grace, and Ty coming out, and Grace Mercedes coming back in. Megan Malloy, Megan Weaver. Definitely some strong forwards we got on the team.
So Malloy and Weaver will try to boost that forward group here. And you were mentioning Norwood's got a new defender out there, Grace Mercedes, who was playing a lot earlier and is now back getting that chance. She'll be tasked with marking Riley Colleran, so that certainly is not going to be an easy job for her. So 8:50 to go, 3-0 Hopkinton. They got a goal about 7 minutes in from senior captain Maddie Recupero. She repeated that feat not long after that, and then now they got a third goal off the foot of number 4, Allison Green, a junior. So Hopkinton has seemingly every 10 minutes or so been able to put one through, but the Norwood defense has done a really nice job. They've been under siege all day and have handled pretty well so far. Here into the middle as Hopkinton does a nice job to get around one player. That's Green wearing number 4 as it goes on into the shadows. Good hustle from Becca Wood, who kicks it out of bounds. If you're just joining us, Joe Pinola, Joey O'Connor, and special guest today, Danielle DeMattia in the booth. Danielle is about as close to an insider as we're going to get here, as she has not only played with this team, has managed this team, has traveled with this team, and is certainly dropping many more insightful nuggets than I think Joey or I would ever have. And look at that one.
Unlucky. That's a good goal, though, right in the corner.
That's a great play by Hopkinton.
And that's the word. We'll try to get the official report on who scored that one from Hopkinton. Not a whole lot of 5-5ing going on here. As the team kind of jogs off together. But either way, Hopkinton adds their 4th goal of the contest.
Might have been number 11. See some high fives.
Yeah, it looked like right off the throw-in, just one touch off the bounce, and then it was tough to see who it was, but she just turned around and ripped a low stinger right on the net.
Well, from our unofficial vantage point, we will give the goal to Nina Tuganatos. She is a BU commit. As Joey mentioned in the opener, So certainly one to watch. Her passing has been on full display today. And now we have 2 balls in play, at least for a moment, as there was a little bit of confusion. Looked like Norwood had number 25, Colleen Dennehy, in there on the throw-in. And Becca Wood had another one back on her own defensive end. So I think we've settled things out.
Got Colleen getting some minutes in, one of our seniors.
So nice to see a good mix, and I believe I'm looking through the list of Norwood names. We've seen almost everybody in there so far.
Yeah.
So that's a credit to Coach Brinklow being able to kind of mix things up, still have everybody know their positions. And here's Dennehy, and she almost found a little bit of daylight there. She was working against number 18, McCann, and I thought she might have maybe one little bounce. She might have had a leg up on her.
Just need a little extra touch, and you got it.
So Brusades will throw it in with 6:40 to go. This one comes right out to number 18, Elizabeth Gonzalez, who is one of Norwood's 3 captains. Dennehy into the middle of the field. Gets it right back.
Some good passing there from Norwood.
Oh, they had their opportunity, but Hopkinton's keeper is able to come out and knock this one away.
Colleen's got to take that extra touch to make sure she sets it up, sends it to the right person. It's one thing. I think girls need that one extra touch, one extra step. You're almost there. They're almost there.
I hear that in a lot of sports, right? That one extra touch, one extra pass is really what's to it.
Makes a world of difference.
So 6 minutes to go here. Hopkinton still with that 3-0 lead. Here's a little bit of a chance for Norwood. Oh, Dennehy was moving in. She had a chance. But a nice save once again by the Hopkinton keeper. We'll try to get her name for you.
Freshman? Oh, no.
Hopkinton's got 3 keepers on their roster, Aaliyah Chase and Ella Nye. Now, Aaliyah is number 00 and Ella is number 0, so Hopkinton not helping us out too much with the numbers, although number 99, Tyler Scaff, is a freshman, so we may be seeing her too at some point. But here comes Riley Collar, and beautiful pass into the middle, and the shot goes in for Hopkinton. What a goal there that they celebrate. The pass from Colleran was spot on. And Joey, I can't quite catch the number of the goal scorer through the sun here, but she did a great job connecting.
That was number 8. I'm having trouble reading this roster.
So Sofia Tuganatos is number 8 on our roster. She's a sophomore, and I've got to imagine Nina's sister.
Yes.
You don't see that last name too much, but shout out to Kiki Thaxter for helping us with the pronunciation on that one.
Yeah, that was a great possession up the left side there from number 21, the freshman Riley Colleran. Forced it up the left side, and a great cross. Actually made it past a couple of Hopkinton players, and a great finish there right on net. So Hopkinton takes the 5-0
nifty little
lead.
turn there from Weaver as she was trying to connect with Megan Malloy. Danielle, you were talking about when Weaver and Malloy came in, how Norwood's got a strong group of forwards out there, and they almost connected.
Almost any time Megan's out there, I can say it's a strong forward. Megan's awesome. She's been doing a great job this season. When she was a freshman, she got her first goal of the season versus Ursuline, so she's made that statement since day one. She's great.
So coming off the bench today, but certainly making an impact.
Yes.
And now Hopkinton with another chance. They've been carrying things around kind of the near side of the field for the most part, but now trying to make things happen again. And Curran comes diving out. Not afraid of contact at all. A great play by the sophomore.
Love it. Something I would never do if I was a goalie. Too scared.
Well, you've got to have enough kind of moxie to play defense the way you do. So got to imagine there's some similarities.
I guess so.
So now we hope we're going to get to see, at least in some point, maybe club or something like that on the college level.
Yes.
We'll see what the future has in store. How's the recovery going?
Pretty good. I'm almost 2 months post-op, which is exciting. Every day you get better, whether it's with the extension, straightening, muscle. First time I went to PT, I pushed about 7 pounds, and when I left PT in June, I pushed about almost 200 pounds. So it was definitely an adjustment. But yeah, definitely getting better.
7 to 200 is nothing to sneeze at. All right.
No, I think it was like 180. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't 200.
Nah, we can round up, right?
Yeah.
Significant figures, right? I have to throw the science stuff in there here and there. Oh, Curran comes out and makes a great save.
Wow.
It stays in play, and the Norwood defense is able to swoop it back out with Grace Brusades there. So Curran and Brusades doing a great job the big-time save and the big-time clear.
Awesome work.
Yeah, another decisive effort there from Curran, right? She sees the ball leaking through on the through ball, and she just decides to go for it. Great sliding effort. Prevents another easy goal opportunity for Hopkinton. So
And
still a
shout out
5-0 game.
Shout out to Grace for being there, not just sitting there watching, being there to clear it.
That's right. It's not a spectator sport, right?
No, that's one thing sometimes we lack is like when something big like that happens, we're like, whoa. You can't say whoa. You do that after the game. Get back in there, and that's exactly what Grace Mercedes did. She did a great job.
Now, you were talking before the game about how Coach Brinklow likes to kind of on the bus home, even if it's not a great result, kind of shout out some things that you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that's the kind of stuff that she looks for. Like, hey, we weren't standing around this time. We did this differently than we did last week, and maybe that's a step in the right direction.
And definitely performance from individual players, especially if they're called up or played a lot. I don't know. Definitely, she loves to give her shout-outs when it's deserved.
Yep. Now, Mackenzie Flynn was arguing with the referee for a moment, and I think she actually changed his mind. We saw it on that one. Mackenzie was basically saying, no, I think that ball went out off a Hopkinton player, and here we go, Norwood throwing. So Norwood's still playing hard here with 2 minutes to go in the first half. A goal could go a long way in changing the tide and maybe changing some of the feelings on the Hopkinton sidelines. And Norwood certainly still has their heads in it. But they got to be careful. They don't want to give up one last goal to Hopkinton before this half concludes. The shadow is starting to creep in. The teams will switch sides in about, maybe a minute and a half or so as they're keeping time down on the field. But here's Collar, and she moves inside. And Curran with another big-time save. It'll be a corner kick for Hopkinton. But Joey Rakin-Curran has been standing on her head at least the last couple minutes.
Yeah, another big-time save there from Curran. A dangerous opportunity. I believe that was number 21, Riley Collar. And again, the freshman just ripped a shot right on net, and Curran just throws her hands up, makes a great save. I even gave a little shout-out to Dikembe Mutombo, R.I.P., a little Dikembe Mutombo finger wag there.
There you go. She rejects that shot from Colleran. But Colleran has a chance on the corner kick. It comes in. Curran gets fingertips on it. Hopkinton tries to follow up, but Norwood's defense swarms pretty quickly and gets it out of harm's way, at least for the moment. Malloy kicks this one up. Mackenzie Flynn looking for some room. Does a nice little turn and a beautiful outlet pass. Dennehy's got some room to run, at least for a moment, but Hopkinton is able to steer it away. We're maybe a couple seconds here from the end of the half. And right on cue, there's that double whistle. So Hopkinton certainly puts up quite a performance there in the first half. Norwood doesn't get a goal, but their defense has done quite well, and Rakin-Curran being really strong in there in net.
And if I think it was a pretty okay half, and sometimes, most of the time, when they don't have the best first half, the second half is much better. So hopefully they'll be coming out on the other side the second half. And looks like Abby Waters might be going in net, maybe, potentially. Might be switching up goalies. We'll see.
All right, so stay tuned. Maybe we'll get the senior Abby Waters in there. Maybe not, but either way, Norwood has hung tough against a strong Hopkinton team. We'll be back with the second half of action in just a little bit. We hope you stay with us. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Norwood High School. Joe Pinola, Danielle DeMattia, and Joey O'Connor. The trio here in the booth today calling some girls soccer, and we are trying any way we can to block out this last little bit of sun. I've got the hat, Joey and Danielle doing the sunglasses, although the double sunglasses and regular glasses that Sam Gurney, our camera operator, is rocking right now, I think wins the day so far.
Awesome.
Norwood has had a rough start to this game, 5-0 in favor of Hopkinton at the moment. And the teams have switched sides of the field, and it looks like we have a new keeper in net for Norwood.
Yep, we got senior Abby Waters.
Abby Waters, who I had the pleasure of having last year in class. Really nice kid, and nice to see her getting an opportunity against a really strong Hopkinton squad. So I'm sure the Hillers are not going to make life easy on her. But I'm sure Abby will relish the opportunity to be out there here, regardless of what the scoreboard says.
Yes, I will say Abby is a phenomenal net, but in our game versus Bellingham a few weeks ago, she put Reagan in net last minute, and Abby wanted to go on the field, and she ran until she couldn't breathe.
All right.
She ran, and then she's like, I need my inhaler. And then she had to take her off, but she is phenomenal on the field as well as she is in goal.
So she just wants to play, huh?
Yep. That's the only time I've seen her play on field during the game, but I will say she's pretty good at both. She used to do club. I'm not sure if she does it anymore, but Yeah, we got some club girls on the team, some ex-club girls. Hopkinton definitely has majority.
Yeah, you were saying they've got some really high-level club players, and,
Yes.
and we mentioned their 3 senior captains heading off to play in college next year.
Yes.
I have to imagine some of these impressive freshmen they're jogging out there as well.
Yeah.
So they get a corner kick pretty early in there. Good chance from Aubrey Thomas, who's in the game now wearing number 12. Hopkinton going with a bit of a new look on some of their players, as Coach Skiba has been rotating in and out a bit. And Thomas will be tasked with a throw-in. Joey, it seems like every time Hopkinton goes to the bench, though, they're bringing in another strong player, and including more height out there, it looks like.
Yeah, they've got quite some reinforcements on that Hopkinton bench. Both sides, as we mentioned, Joe, have been subbing in and out, opting for the fresh legs, which I always think is a great strategy. Why not? But yeah, Hopkinton's definitely got some depth on their roster. Doesn't seem to matter who they have out there. They're a well-oiled machine.
So we saw a little bit of offsides a moment ago that Danielle called out pretty quickly, so we'll get her a referee uniform soon as well.
Yes.
And they run as well, I tell you, the way the refs moves. But a nice job there by Abby Waters to continue to play it, even though it was whistled dead. She did make a nice save there on the near side. And we're getting a chance here to see some of the other defenders that normally when you're playing on the far side of the field away from our cameras, it's hard to catch some numbers. So I imagine we'll be calling, for example, Ava Murad's number a whole lot more here on this near side wearing number 5. So Ava, a senior defender who I know we see her a lot on the basketball court, along with some of these other players that Joey has gotten the chance to coach. Joey, have you gotten a chance to coach Ava there as well?
So last year I was mostly JV, and then I helped out with varsity. So Saturday practices, I was up there with varsity. Games, I was up there with varsity. So yeah, I got to know Ava pretty well. She'll be a senior captain this year, along with Ava O'Neill, who we interviewed the other week after
Ava
the field hockey
captain.
game. Yeah, Ava squared.
She was so great on that interview.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we got 2 great senior captains. Should be another big year for the basketball team. There's quite a few other players out here. Bella Corris, Grace Connell. We had some JV players, Reagan Curran, Meg Malloy, Becca Wood, Cece Becker's on varsity. So a lot of basketball players out there right now, which I love to see.
Basketball and soccer, you don't always see that combo, but I guess you do here at the school on the hill. Nice job by Hopkinton to keep this in, and there was a chance as they tried to put it on net. Waters followed it real well, but it just goes over, and it looks like one of the youth players will go to chase it down.
Yes. Love our ball girls.
I tell you, they hustle sometimes more than anybody out there. And the youth program, obviously, very critical to the success of a lot of these high school programs. This one ping-pongs off a couple of players, and a nice job by Bella Corris to get out of bounds.
I was going to say, I assume Hopkinton has a pretty strong youth program because they got talent, freshmen and seniors, so I assume they got lots of girls who play club, high level, starting from youth.
Now, I was looking at Hopkinton as, they have a chance here. Number 8 is right in front of the net. Norwood again has to try to divert this one. And, did that go through? It did. Waters was in good position to make the play on it, but unfortunately kind of knocked it down into herself, and it finds its way to the back of the goal.
Unlucky.
Yeah, just a high flick there from Hopkinton.
Some of that might have been the sun.
That's true. For us, we're kind of looking away from it. It feels like we can finally see some numbers, but Abby is staring right into the face of it. So 4 minutes into the second half, and Hopkinton adds their 6th goal. It's 6-0 so far. Their most impressive performance this season has been an 8-0 win, so we're sure that Coach Skiba will be kind of keeping an eye on that. Norwood, though, will try to test out Ella Nye, as we can finally see number 0 on her jersey, her lime green jersey for Hopkinton, just to the left side of the camera right now. Either way, Norwood still in search of their first goal. We're seeing a couple other players again from this vantage point. Catherine Cronin, number 6, is out there as well. She's another multi-sport athlete, I believe, who runs some track and field.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think distance is her thing. I don't know if she's going to do it this year, but she does winter and spring.
I would imagine that's something that translates pretty well to soccer if you're able to do some distance running.
Definitely one of the fastest mile times on the team, if not the fastest.
And not a surprise to see her out there playing midfield.
Yeah, probably a direct correlation there, if I were to guess.
All right.
Yes.
And I know, Danielle, you were talking about how you were kind of looking to get more and more into running and things like that. So I guess the soccer running connection is not too far.
Definitely have to do your conditioning to play this sport, especially if you are expected to play majority of the game.
Yeah.
Good touch there.
Yeah, a little bit of a chance for Norwood. Now, Danielle, I know you played a lot of defense.
I
obviously
played
forward for a bit too, huh?
For high school, she liked me at outside mid, which is a little bit of defense, but I prefer forward. But for Coach Brinkle, I did a little bit of mid, which isn't my best, but that's where
she saw something in you, right?
I guess so. It's a lot of running that midfield, I'll tell you. Outside mid, Coach Tyler Gonzalez. He was always yelling at me to get down the field. You know, playing striker up top, I'm not used to going up and down, so that was definitely an adjustment. But I think these girls do a pretty good job.
Nice job from Ava and from Becca there to kind of thwart the chance. Catherine was in there as well. Coach Gonsalves has been a couple of years now removed from the high school.
I know.
He was a staple here, not only as a player but also as a coach at the school on the hill. Played at UMass. Mm-hmm. Tyler, if you're watching, we miss you. Hope all is well wherever he is in the world now.
Yeah, he probably is. I always forget he does watch a lot of these, and I'll check my phone at halftime, and I have like 5 texts from him.
Sorry if you're listening. I mispronounced your name. I have a long history with him and his dad, so it's my bad.
Well, I'm sure you're calling him Mr. G a lot and whatnot, so not using the whole name. Did you have him in class?
Actually, no, I didn't. But my first club team was with his dad. So
All right.
I've known him since like 5th grade. So
yeah.
I've never had him
OG
as a teacher.
Mr. G, OG Mr. Gonzalez is like the Karate Kid sensei master of soccer. Like, he's probably
Did
the
you
best
play
soccer
for him,
coach.
Joey?
I don't know if I ever played directly for him.
Okay.
In Norwood Youth Soccer, we played against him all the time, and I remember it was an absolute battle every single time. And then travel, we played for a few other coaches. I think by the time I stopped playing, I had never technically played for him. I think maybe once or twice we showed up to play for like an indoor game for him. But I practiced with him a few times, and he would get out there and play with us too. Jeez, he was the best player on the field, and he was way older than all of us. So. But yeah, between younger Mr. G and older Mr. G, those are 2 of the best soccer minds you could ask for.
Definitely in the town of Norwood.
Yeah.
And I imagine that goes a long way in not wanting to play them. The fact that his son's out there and went on to play at college and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, that was always fun too. I went to UMass Amherst with younger Mr. G, so I went saw a few.
Oh, there's
games.
a chance. A big pile up in front. I think the whistle got in first.
Yeah, I don't think they're counting it.
Number 4, Allison Green, who already has 1 goal today, was right there in the middle of that pile up. And a nice job by Abby Waters holding her position. Ava Murad was in there defensively along with Bella Corus. Looks like nobody took really the worst of that. But either way, the goal waved off.
Yeah, looks like that one's coming back.
Looks like our ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice work from Catherine Cronin as she was working against number 19 for Hopkinton, who's in there. That's Elise Jacome, a junior. So, again, maybe Elise has been playing a whole lot and we just haven't been able to see her on the far side. Megan Malloy tries to get it to the middle of the field, trying to connect with number 37 for Norwood. That's Gia Riccardi, one of the freshmen out there. I believe the freshman that's out there for this Mustang team.
Yeah.
And Gia's had a couple chances here so far early on. Norwood has it pretty deep here in the Hopkinton end. Mackenzie Flynn trying to get it back in there in the middle of the field. Hopkinton struggling to get it out. The Norwood offense may be getting going a little bit.
I see some elbows out there. We're getting physical.
You were saying, Danielle, you wanted Norwood to be a little bit more physical, and they seem to be living up to it a bit here.
Yeah, they let themselves get thrown around way too much.
And
like unfortunately.
There we go. But getting right back up are some of the Norwood players, and now a chance here as Murad gets it up to Cronin, looking to connect with Flynn. Almost continued that, but a really nice stop by Hopkinton. That was looks like number 13 for them, and number 20 for the Hillers clears it out. Nice job by Natalie Prisco, one of their freshmen.
Yeah, it feels like Norwood's starting to apply the pressure a little bit to the Hillers. We finally get the ball on their side of the field here. Pretty good opportunity for Norwood to try to get on the scoreboard. Plenty of time left in this game, too.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a bit of a rough start for Norwood as they gave up a goal about 4 minutes here into the second half. but they seem to have settled things down, like Danielle had hoped, gotten a little bit more physical out there. And we've certainly seen that paying some dividends as this ball has been in the offensive end now for a while. Riley Barnett trying to keep play going. Ava Murad had it for a moment. But now Hopkinton with a 2-on-1. Oh, Becca Wood is going to have to work here. Hopkinton putting on the Jets, and they get it to go through.
Oh, that's unlucky. That looked off to me, but we'll see. I might be biased.
So this might be one of the ones that Coach Brinklow brings up when you guys are reviewing video and says, maybe that was offsides.
I'm not sure. I might have had a bad angle on it, but she looked off to me.
Either way, it's a goal for Hopkinton. Couldn't quite get who scored it.
We got a timeout.
And we're going to see a timeout there on the field. But a nice job by Becca Wood, who was working all the way as she almost was able to divert that 2-on-1. And Abby Waters made a nice play coming out being aggressive on it. But regardless, it is 7-0. Hopkinton beat Norwood by this exact score earlier in the season back in September. And they are a team that looks like they are gelling quite well, especially with these very impressive freshmen.
Yeah, so in terms of this timeout, Danielle, what do you think is being talked about in the huddle here, X's and O's? How does Norwood try to steal a little momentum back here with about 30 minutes left?
Honestly, I'm not good with this sort of thing. Like when I'm a coach, I think, well, from my perspective on defense, like I think we're doing a little too much like poking and watching. I think that's something we've always kind of struggled with, just watching when it happens or like slowing down. But I don't think she's talking about that getaway goal right there. I bet she's talking about something that happened in the final third. Yeah, I'm not good at this. I don't think I'll be a coach in my future. I'm good at like
reacting.
Individual players and reacting, giving my 2 cents of like the calls, everything. But I'm not good at like.
You say you don't think you'll be a coach, but you do realize that about 30 seconds ago you said, when I coach. So I think deep down you know that it's eventually going to be coming.
Maybe for like youth, but I don't know how. Well, I think maybe it depends. I might be daydreaming a little bit just watching. Sometimes I just like to watch, not necessarily take notes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we see the Norwood team talking things over as the sun sets and things starting to get a little bit chillier here.
We can finally see.
Yeah, I can finally see the left side of the field.
That's true for us. This is nice being up here in the booth.
I bet she's just trying to hype them all up, let them know that they can get a goal in the back of the net, because when this happens, 7-0, it's not really that fun, and you can get down and not want to play. And I think we do those timeouts. She normally ends it with something along the lines of, let's get one in the back of the net. So that's probably one thing she's saying, just to work together. And even in games where we're down by several goals, you do see some of that energy, some cheering on the field. Definitely on the bench. We got a supportive bench, which if you look over after a good play, especially after a good save, definitely got some energy. I can say for myself, every time we've got a goal or awesome save, I'm jumping up and down on one leg.
There you go. You don't even need 2 legs to do it, right?
No, I can't. It's a bad idea. Probably shouldn't be doing.
So play continues on here as Hopkinton's keeper has to come out of the net. So a little bit of work there for Ella Nye, the junior. 29:14 to go as play resumes here. It's 7-0 Hillers, but Norwood's searching to do something they haven't done all season, and that's score a goal in 3 consecutive contests. This would be maybe something that Coach Brinklow can put in that. I guess there's not going to be a bus speech later, but something to talk about with the team after the game if things were to go their way. Norwood looking for that goal. They've been shut out 9 times this year, but they certainly have found the back of the net quite a few times as well.
Yeah, they are managing to continue to apply pressure here in the second half on the left side of the field. Once again, I think that was number 37, the freshman Riccardi, hustling down the field.
Yeah.
The Hopkinton goaltender has faced quite a bit of pressure all day on that Norwood kind of forecheck and press.
I think they've definitely tested her a little bit, but not too much. We haven't seen how good she is with some good shots.
Yeah, that would be the next step. Get some shots on net. See if we can make some magic happen.
Yeah, the number of shots on net each game is improving too. So that's a little foul. Definitely Bella's one of the physical girls. Oh, we won that. Okay.
All right.
I was watching Bella.
So we'll take the call. I'm glad you're focused on Norwood right now.
Yeah, of course. You got Mackenzie. She normally takes these free kicks. She's a boss.
So here is a big opportunity as Flynn will kick this away.
I will say, when we played Walpole, she got a goal from just about where she is right now. So, maybe not what she was, I don't know what she was
Commentator Jinx,
for.
welcome to the booth.
But yeah, from like 25 yards out versus Walpole, she
But here's a chance, a nice little turnover for Norwood.
Good move there.
As they try to move it into the middle of the field.
But she definitely can get a goal from out there. She's one of the girls who stuck with club. She does club in her off season. She's awesome. She also does track with Catherine. So
there's that, again, multi-sport athlete. Now Nye will have to handle it as Norwood puts some pressure on her. And now here's Malloy with a chance, trying to get it back for Flaherty. Hopkinton coming away. Norwood continuing to put the pressure on. Nice job by Murad to keep it in bounds. Little give and go. Bella for Megan, and it goes just a little bit too far from her. I think an offsides is going to bail out the Hillers.
I bet Megan would have gotten that on the Father Max field. Would have
been just enough grass.
A little bit slower, right?
It might have honestly stopped.
But, right, another possession where you can see the cogs kind of turning for this Mustangs offense. Couple good passes there, good through ball touch from Chorus. Right idea. Meg Malloy almost chases it down. Would have had a good opportunity for a cross. So, again, the Mustangs just trying to compete, trying to make something happen here in the second half. They're playing a much better brand of offense, I would say, thus far.
And they flip the table pretty quickly here as Riley Barnett does a nice job of taking it away from number 19, Elise Jacome. So Norwood, once again, in their own offensive end, trying to make things happen. Trying to keep it in bounds. In play, excuse me.
Okay, Bella.
Mustangs working here with Bella Chorus. Out for Mary Flaherty, trying to find it here on the near side. Malloy will have to run. She does a nice job making Hopkinton work for it.
It's our ball.
And it will stay with Norwood. Nice work and really good hustle from Malloy there on the far side to earn possession for the Mustangs.
I don't know if she's on the field right now, but Elizabeth Gonzalez can throw that ball like 20 yards out.
It's she's the throw-in specialist.
If she was on the field right now, which I don't
Norwood's
think she
getting
is.
a couple subs in there. I don't think I see Elizabeth coming in. We do see Grace Connell entering, and number 6, Catherine Cronin has re-entered.
All right,
So Flaherty will do the throw-in for Mackenzie Flynn. Mackenzie trying to kind of dribble her way out of a phone booth there. Comes back out for Riley Barnett. Barnett almost does a split, as looks like that's Allison Green who took it away from her. Flaherty almost closed in and got another turnover. And here's Jacome, tries to contend with Flaherty, gets it out for Green. And Allison Green finally, at least for a moment, gives Hopkinton some breathing room. But Batista was there for Norwood. She gets a chance as well.
One thing to add is that we may not have won the ball down there, but they definitely challenged them and forced them to make some mistakes, which is definitely good. You don't always necessarily want to win the ball. Maybe you want to keep it down their end, force some mistakes, and that's definitely what they did.
Just like right there.
We're continuing to do that as Flaherty. We've been seeing her a lot, really kind of pestering this team. Comes back out, and now the defensive line will have to do its job. Riley Barnett in a foot race with Allison Green, and Riley wins it for a moment there just to kick it away. Tried to keep it in bounds.
Good work.
Although good hustle, she diverts the chance, but Hopkinton will have another opportunity here.
Good work. Good hustle.
Yeah, great hustle there from Barnett. 7-0 game.
And she's probably giggling after she did that.
Yeah.
She's always got that smile on her.
She almost managed to thwart the corner kick there, too. She did such a good job hustling down the field. That was almost a throw-in.
So 24-10 to go. It'll be Elise Jacome who will kick it away on the corner as Norwood will bring most of their team in. Instead, it comes right for Barnett, trying to do some hustle to get it away from Jacome. Now back out for number 22, Catherine Chow, another freshman for Hopkinton, is in there, getting an opportunity. So we've seen at least 3 of the 4 freshmen for Hopkinton. Taylor Scaff is their backup keeper, so I imagine we will not be seeing her today, barring any unforeseen changes. There on the far side is number 21, Riley Colleran. She's been tasked with playing a lot there down low, as she's also contending with some of the leaves there, it looks like, that have blown onto the field.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Be a leaf blower.
Talk about a fall day here in New England.
That's a lot of leaves.
There's Aubrey Thomas with a touch there for Hopkinton. Norwood's got Grace Connell getting an extended look, it looks like, right now here. She's another multi-sport athlete.
Basketball girl.
Yep, another basketball player there.
And this one, Cronin gets a little bit of a touch on. Goes Hopkinton's way, and another quick throw in for Jacome. Some extra energy from Sofia Tuganatos. Gets it over for number 23. That's Not on our scorecard for Hopkinton, so it looks like we're short one of their numbers.
Here we go, CC Becker. Oh, I think she may have taken a few too many steps.
And we'll see. The whistle immediately follows up.
Oh, maybe she's getting subbed out. My bad.
All right. So
sometimes we take a few steps once we get the ball for throw-ins.
Yeah, why not?
See how far you can go.
Yeah, see how far they'll let you go.
It's definitely annoying when the other team does it, but you can get away with it. Why not?
I think is that Colleen Dennehy we see checking back in. As Norwood continuing to really mix up their lineup here. Oh, Batista closing in, making Nye work for that one. Great effort from her. So number 11, Tainara Batista, a sophomore, doing some really good work, hustling in and not making life easy here in the second half of the second half.
Yeah, Batista, one of our multilingual students, has been flying around up front all day. She's created a little bit of havoc for that Hopkinton goaltender.
Yeah, this is the most work I think we've seen Ella Nye have to do all day, as she's been coming out of that net a whole lot. Hopkinton offense has been pretty quiet here in the last 5 minutes or so, as Norwood has really been pressuring them. Looks like Hopkinton is giving a lot of their freshmen a chance to shine at the moment, although Allison Green, the junior, who has at least one goal today, has probably been the focal point along with Riley Colleran. Hopkinton did get 2 goals to start the game back-to-back from Maddie Recupero, the Princeton commit. They also have Nina Tuganatos and Fotini Grassos. Those are their 3 captains, so we haven't seen a whole lot in this contest. So nice that Coach Skiba is giving some opportunities to different girls here.
Yeah, they're bundled up over there in their parkas on the bench, so I think they're done for today.
Yeah, look at this Norwood team. They're in their shorts, their T-shirts still down there. It feels cold whenever we get a breeze through the window.
Maybe it's because she's playing each and every one of them a little warmer, but these Hopkinton girls are bundled up.
Yeah, it looks like Hopkinton is ready to just set sail with the group they have out there. They've got number 15, Allison Desmond, out there, who we haven't called her name a ton, so nice to see Allison getting an opportunity as well. And as we mentioned, number 23. That's right. That was your number here, right?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, too. I'm not a big Chiefs
Is that the
fan.
reason why?
No, my dad was 15.
Okay.
I'm not a big Patrick Mahomes fan or Chiefs fan, but that's definitely a good number to have. It's like
here's a chance for Norwood inside. Batista has a look, and she goes down. Mr. O'Connor puts his hand up looking for the call.
I feel like Danielle right now. I'm not agreeing with this call. I'm pretty vocal about it.
Where is the ref?
She got taken down pretty quickly there.
That
We'll
was
have
in
to
the
wind
box.
up our NCM replay.
That would have been a penalty kick.
The wind got knocked out of her. She hit that turf right on.
Yeah, Ty's been working hard.
And now
there
coming
up
back
front,
the
too.
other way. Here's Jacome as she works against Becca Wood, trying to find some space. We're in the second half of the second half as 20 minutes shows on the clock. Jacome kind of swings it into no man's land, but eventually connects with a teammate there on the far side. Colleran has it taken away from her by Cochran. Nice work from Sydney Cochran down there.
Awesome job. In those leaves.
Yeah.
In the leaves, she's able to take it away.
Camera, it's brutal.
So certainly you're getting the full sense of New England here. The bright sun shining through, now the cold breeze, now the leaves. They don't call it the school on the hill for no reason here.
That looks like number 45, Ava Papetti, checking back in. Also a JV Hooper last year.
That's it.
I saw Coach Brinklow chatting to Ava before she went in on the sideline, so maybe she's got some motivation.
Yeah.
We will see. Shout out to Ava, who is in my world's smallest study hall this year. So nice to see and kind of get to know her this year.
Yeah, she got a little pep talk on the bench from Coach when we played Dover Sherborne, and then she went out and scored after that. So
All right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to imagine late in the game, girls maybe are getting opportunities and maybe extended looks that they maybe not be otherwise getting in some of the closer contests. So, if you're some of the girls in here for Norwood, this is a big game for you. You're getting a chance to play a lot of minutes.
Right.
And, if you're able to put a tally up, put a goal in, you never know how that starting lineup for Coach Brinklow may change.
And look at Cindy, very physical, awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely the case for Megan, at least for Megan Weaver, coming up on JV.
Yeah, she's out there, right? Number 43.
Got a lot of playing time. She's got a little ankle issues here and there. I know she's awesome at gymnastics, but she's a trooper. She had ankle surgery recently, and I think she's just playing through it. But I know she's a great gymnast as well. Fun fact.
Another multi-sport athlete,
I
huh?
think most of these girls play more than one sport, whether it's softball, a lot of basketball, a lot of track. Yeah, definitely multi-sport athletes.
That's great that people are getting involved.
Definitely.
Nice effort there from Bella Chorus, who is closing in. I think Colleen Dennehy was out there as well. Grace Connell on that pressure, and eventually comes back out. Riley Barnett will follow this up.
Gotta get rid of that.
And did she earn it still for Norwood? She did.
So.
Nice work, kind of playing it off of Colleran's foot there, knocking it out of bounds. So with 17:30 to go, Norwood again with a throw-in. Tough throw-in that is deep, kind of in their own end. Now, what's your strategy when you're doing that? Try to maybe get it off a Hopkinton player? If you're getting that throw-in kind of deep in your defensive end.
I would personally just try and throw it up, get it out of here. But I don't know, that's my preference.
Just kind of get as much muscle behind it as you can?
Yeah, as a forward, I definitely like the ball higher up on the field. Some coaches like to ease its way. No, I like to just boot it up there. And I've definitely met coaches that tell me not to do that, but my preference, just throw it, kick it as far as you can.
Just dump and
get
chase.
It. Yeah.
Speaking of a chase here, Cochran has to work here with Colleran through the leaves. Cochran bested her in that just a moment ago. And now Hopkinton will settle it back for their midfielders. Catherine Chow has been getting a lot of work for them, number 22, as she's right in the middle of that bunch. And I guess a little extra contact will go Norwood's way.
Here we go.
Thought maybe they were going to call Sydney Cochran for something there, but instead the whistle goes the other direction.
We got Riley Barnett, whose sister is doing having a great freshman season at St. Mike's, playing soccer.
All right, so she certainly got to deal with the cold up there, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know Riley said that she got a nice parka when she got her gear. So Riley was left with Paige's old parka, which I think she brought today. I think I saw her wearing it.
Yeah, if I were to guess whatever temperature it is here right now, it's probably about 20 degrees colder up there right now.
But I bet she's used to it.
I was in Vermont with my family this past weekend, and it was in the 30s at night, so that is certainly coming for us here.
Yeah.
So glad to hear that Paige is playing well up there. That whole family, quite an athletic family, and it's continuing on with Riley here.
She's also a tennis star.
All right.
Not a lot of people knew that.
There we go.
Another fun fact.
Yeah, I got a list of fun facts. How much time we have?
That's it. We'll kind of keep hearing them right now. Now, I know NCM's been working to get you a whole bunch of different sports. I think we were able to get some tennis action last year, boys and girls. So
I did some wrestling last year. It was my first time, probably the last. I honestly feel like I was interrupting something when I was watching, but not my cup of tea, but I'm sure there's people who like it.
There you go. You got to know the ins and outs, right? I tell you, we were doing swimming and diving, which has kind of become like an NCM staple now.
Really? I love that.
And when you're out there for diving, and it is like library quiet. And then all of a sudden the actual swimming part starts, and you basically can't hear yourself think. Tell you, you got two extremes there. Yeah. Norwood, it looks like, has emptied their bench here with 14:40 to go. I tell you, Danielle, you've been so good calling out the subs, but that was 5 in a row. Coach Brinklow is going to test you here.
I know I saw Mackenzie come in. I think she...
Yeah, it looks like that was Mackenzie Flynn, Meg Malloy, Ava Morad.
Maybe Elizabeth.
Looks like most of the starters came back in. Looks like Cece Becker on the far side of the field.
So maybe a final push here. Norwood trying to get that goal. I tell you, considering it was 7-0 Hopkinton in that last meeting, you have to imagine this next goal is going to be pretty important to the Norwood team in that pep talk. Either did we kind of get closer, or did we let them get further away?
That was definitely what I was thinking about. I was like, oh, they're at the score right now that they lost to.
So you do have the coaching mindset. She's thinking in this way.
I think I was just put on the spot. I was on the spot. I would think I was daydreaming a little bit just watching.
There you go. Well, the mind goes there, and Norwood is seemingly creating some opportunities. Mackenzie Flynn with some good pressure down there. And keep an eye on Ava Papetti, who's been around it. Danielle's been calling her name as someone who's been buzzing lately, and we'll see if she's able to connect.
I also think she does track, so another fun fact for you guys.
All right, so she's 3 seasons, I believe, then, right?
Yeah, soccer, basketball, track.
Yeah, nice to see.
Yeah, I can't believe people do that. That's a lot.
Here's a chance. They were moving in. Mackenzie Flynn had an opportunity. There's a really good through ball off the foot of Riley Barnett, number 13. And Norwood showing some life here. Tell you that takes a lot of energy here this late in the contest with the score kind of one-sided to still be playing the way Norwood is. Kudos to them. But here comes Colleran the other way. Barnett was with her step by step. Colleran can't find any opportunities and passes it away. And there's a nice save made by Waters to get Hopkinton away from that chance.
On the other end of the field, I think she put Mackenzie Flynn up top, which is not normally where she goes, but I think she'll definitely thrive up there.
And Mackenzie looking for the through ball.
Speaking of which,
Hopkinton is able to clear it away, but Ava Pipetti with some good hustle. This one goes out of bounds. It looks like Norwood will have another throw-in, and it'll belong to Megan Malloy.
yeah, again, Ava didn't win that ball, but we won this throw-in.
Yeah, she applied the pressure.
Comes right out for Mackenzie, who was kind of looking to her right for a little bit, seeing if she can do a little give and go to Ava.
Unlucky.
Mackenzie will have to settle for no chance there, and Hopkinton will get an opportunity to boot it away.
Yeah, Mackenzie's definitely a very strong player. Bright future for her.
She has been making things happen, and as Danielle was saying, somebody who plays clubs, so maybe getting to play year-round. I tell you, Norwood's got some good, well-rounded athletes, but also certainly has some club athletes as well.
Yeah, I know some girls used to play club. I know Mackenzie stuck with it. A lot of the girls just do like AAU basketball.
Oh, nice step there from Riley Barnett. She kind of throws it into a little bit of a skirmish there in front of the goal. Looks like Flynn was kind of leading the charge for Norwood. Tell you never know, something good might happen as Riley just booted it away. So here's Ava Murad. Nice job by Ava working that away from Colleran and getting it to her teammate. Textbook defensive work right there.
Becker got a lot of time to set that up. It was good.
And right into the middle of the field, Elizabeth Gonzalez battling with number 22, Catherine Chow.
Ooh, unlucky.
And we hear a whistle.
Elizabeth is definitely very physical, and most of the time she's stronger than her opponent, so she gets that foul on her, like just now.
So I guess that's the area where it's not good to be too strong because the foul is going to go against you.
I guess so.
So we're getting close into 10 minutes here, getting a little bit cold. Joey, it's a little bit easier to see now for us, but I'm sure the players are working through this nip that's in the air now.
Yeah, much easier for us to see. I can actually see every person and
Probably
on
take
the
your
field.
sunglasses off.
Yeah, probably could. I'm
You
kind
know
of
what? He's rocking them still.
I definitely took
Pretty committed at this point. But yeah, I would imagine we got the door closed. It's probably pretty cold out there at this point.
Right, and the only the only two people here who are really getting the breeze coming through the windows are Sam Gurney, who's doing a great job hanging in there with the camera, and John Willett, who's got to be able to hear any commands coming down there from the field, who's done a great job on our scoreboard today. Riley Barnett giving some good chase there. Colleran gets the shot away, but credit to Barnett there, whose good defensive pressure forced the errant shot, and Waters was there in good position as the goalie.
Another super impressive effort there from Colleran up front. Again, it says she's a freshman. She's been dominating the front half of the field all day, and that was a great opportunity. She gets it on her left foot and just rips one right on net. Just a little bit wide, but Colleran has been very impressive, I would say, for a freshman.
She has been kind of the leader of this Hopkinton offense since their captains haven't been out there. But Norwood has done a really nice job on her and also keeping the ball in the offensive end. Don't look now, but we're 9 minutes left here in this second half, and Norwood's given up only 2 goals in the second half after giving up 5 in the first. So
yeah, it's normally the pattern you see with these girls. Either first or second half, give up a lot or a handful, and then give up little to none in the next half.
So we just got to stop the bleeding in the first 40 minutes, and then we'll be okay, right? Here's another chance for Norwood as they kick this one away. Not really making Nye work on that case. 9:05 officially to go as the Jackets are coming out more and more here in the stands. The Norwood team closing in on the last couple games of their season. For Norwood, they had their most recent game was a loss 4-1 against Millis, and I believe you guys are heading to Ashland on Thursday, so that's going to be a bit of a trip. The Ashland drive is never an easy one.
But the Bellingham, Ashland, those are normally the games of the season that they feel like they can get that win. So let's see. Last year we got our first one versus Ashland.
That's
this
right.
year wasn't too bad, so hopefully they'll be coming home with a win on Thursday. Next week, we do have 2 special games. We got senior night and our pink game, so definitely 2 to come out to.
All right, and we hope that you'll be able to get out here at the school on the hill.
Yes.
I know NCM will be carrying volleyball at least on Monday, so I am glad to be inside with Dr. Crowley on that one, even if it's a cold day.
Yep.
But certainly we've tried to bring you quite an array of sports throughout the course of this year.
We got volleyball senior night Monday, girls soccer senior night Tuesday, and field hockey senior night Wednesday. So good lineup next week.
Wow.
I'm glad they did that because the girls team definitely likes to come out to support each other. So yeah, our practice got cut short last week so that we could go to the volleyball pink game. So
there you go.
Definitely try and come out to support each other.
So nice to see the teams kind of, like you said, supporting each other
and football
in their big
comes
nights.
out after their practice to cheer on some of their friends. I don't know if they're here today, but definitely see some football boys.
Yeah, this is usually when they get in a little bit of trouble on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're passionate, that's for sure.
That's right. Get those cheers going loud, and they get it when they're playing and give it right back. So nice to see
they bring the energy for sure.
The whole school community. 7:10 to go here, and Hopkinton is looking for that next goal. They haven't taken the foot off the gas too much. Colleran has an opportunity. Thought she might have ripped a shot there. Now she does, and a save is made by Waters, who dives to her left. Nice job by Abby as she kind of played the angle and then made the save against Colleran.
Another player who used to play club, I'm not sure if Abby does now, but she came here from Westwood. She was here last year as well, but she came here from Westwood, completely didn't know anyone, and she's definitely made her mark on this team. She played JV last year, but starting most games this year. We got corner short. We got someone to mark.
Tell you, credit to her coming in here and getting involved in the fall sport right away, especially if you come in at the start of the year. That's not easy to do. Here's a chance for Hopkinton. Now they've got a couple players there on the far side, and Waters makes another great save. Awesome. Abby's been fantastic here in this second half, and she stops another one to keep this game at 7-zip. So Norwood certainly has some bright spots here in the second half. And now this is Megan Malloy looking to turn the tables into some offense. With Papetti to her left and Gonzalez to the right. Nifty play by Hopkinton to dispossess her. That was number 8, Sofia Tuganatos. Riley Barnett.
Yeah, good little possession there from Malloy.
Look at that speed Riley Barnett still has, even late in this half. She's been out there a whole lot and still has the energy. And Becca Wood there doing a nice job to close down the angle as that shot goes wide with 5:30 to go.
Yeah, we lost our ball.
What we just saw there from Meg is maybe something Norwood could try to get a little more of here in the last 5 minutes of action. She did a much better job possessing the ball there. Seems like we have been doing a lot of the dump and chase method so far today, but 5 minutes left. Why not try to get the ball into the feet? Oh my God, the feet of your playmakers. See if they can possess and make a little magic happen.
Just like that.
So we'll see a couple substitutions come in. I thought I saw Catherine Cronin in there. She's now back on that Norwood defensive line. And there was another player on the far side.
Got some wind coming in here.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit windy for us.
We got 5 minutes left to go. That's
right. So time is now being kept on the field as we're not exactly sure. I can't imagine too much extra time today. Danielle's got it ready.
I want to do this on the field because it's annoying. They stop the clock at 5 minutes. I understand why, but there could be 30 seconds left. There could be 5 minutes left. You have no idea.
So this is something we got to start doing because we usually just say it's being kept down there.
And there it is.
And there is the whistle. We were saying not much extra time. And that is certainly not much extra time as this game gets called.
It is always impossible for us to tell.
It was set to 45 minutes, not 40. That's interesting. I had like 30 seconds on my phone and he called the whistle. All right.
Well, either way, tell you, Norwood played a good second half in this one as they only give up 2 goals in that second half. And a little bit of deja vu, Joey. 7-0 in the last contest, 7-0 here today. What are some of the takeaways for the Mustang team?
What would you say you saw, Danielle?
I think I saw a lot of improvement throughout the game, especially in the final third. Like, this happens a lot. Like, you normally don't see too many in the first half, and if you do, they're not great. But definitely a lot more shots on goal the second half, which is what you want. And I've said this a few times, but you don't necessarily have to win the ball every time you go defend them. You can just force a mistake, which is what I always try and say. Just force a mistake. I don't know how much I can keep repeating myself. You don't have to win it. You just put some pressure on it. And I definitely saw improvement with that. But, yeah, shots on goal is super important because you're not going to get any goals if you don't shoot. So
Yeah, I would agree. I think Norwood did a much better job applying pressure on the Hopkinton side of the field during the duration of that second half, I would say. They had the goalkeeper kind of in some tough spots as she was coming out for some of those through balls. So they did a much better job just kind of flying around, applying pressure, possessing the ball, as we saw a few times. That's something they can maybe take into the next game.
Well, a nice job from Norwood to kind of hang tough in there, keep their energy. Hopkinton will continue their momentum. They made it to the D1 state semifinal last year, and they will now be back at home to face Dedham on Thursday. For Norwood, Danielle, you will be traveling out with them to Ashland, hoping to get that win against a team that Norwood has had some really good competitive games with recently.
Yeah, definitely.
Any insight on Ashland for us before we wrap on up?
I mean, I got a teammate on that team, but I don't know. They're unpredictable this season. I don't remember the score last time, but they were definitely a tough competition. But again, early in the season, dust off those cobwebs. So if we play well, play the way we did the last few minutes of Hopkinton, we should be able to get a point, maybe 3. We'll see.
Maybe 3.
Manifesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
Why not?
Well, thanks, folks, for joining us today. Danielle did such a great job here in the booth. She was a natural. And Joey O'Connor, as always, doing a standout job as well. Sam Gurney was a one-man crew on the cameras today, and Kiki Thaxter directing us up here in the booth. I tell you, it was a team effort to put this production on, and we are happy to do it. So, Joey, any closing thoughts before we wrap up today?
Another beautiful fall day here, right? A great effort from the Norwood Mustangs team. They competed. They worked hard, especially in the second half. As we mentioned, maybe this is something they can roll over into the last few games of the season. Maybe make some magic happen before they wrap up the 2024 season.
Yes.
We hope that continues. We'll have some coverage for you next week, beginning with volleyball on Monday, and then hopefully continuing throughout the week with all the senior nights we have going on. We hope you will join us for some of that. For Joey O'Connor, for Danielle DeMattia, and the rest of our crew here today, have a wonderful night, folks. We'll catch you soon.